joke, no joke, no joke. Oh, you know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is. Kareem Smiggity first in the building. My guy, you already know. That's what you call love and support. It's a beautiful evening out here. Come one, come all, come in. My man Sticky Finger in the building. Okay. Jermaine's in the building. Come on in, come on in. Joke, no joke. You already know, baby. We here, man. How y'all living out there? Damn, I ain't sent out no notifications. I forgot. But hopefully, y'all hit the like button. They'll go out. Wasn't even thinking. Should have been sending out notifications. All right. But all my subscriber families here. So my membership gang, they'll get notified. You know what I mean? Malik Smiggity, what up? Fred Jenkins just stepped in the building. Salute. Give y'all a few minutes to come in. Good evening. Happy Sunday, September 21st. Taiwan in the building. Jay Young in the building. Eduardo in the building. Joke, no joke. I'm here, man. Come on through. Come on through. Is it raining? I think it's about to start raining out here. Al Green in the building. The Fresh 777 in the building. The Car Biz Daily in the building. Joke, no joke. Come on in, come on in. Oh, man, it's so beautiful out here tonight. How y'all feeling? All right, so I'm going to jump straight into this one. You know, I'm not going to make y'all wait and debate for oh so long. Have y'all starving like Marvin for a Cool J song. All right. Car Biz. It's good to get an unbiased perspective from someone who was actually there and filmed a lot of it. Props to you. Thanks. I appreciate the props, bro. Because you know these haters out here, they don't never want to give no props. They just want to hate. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them just be jealous that they didn't get to live the life that I lived and did do the things that I did and be the pioneer that I am when it came to that. But now you got all these guys out here. They got somebody following them with a camera. They hate it or me. Oh, nigga, you corny. You walking around with a camera following them. And now look at them. Everybody got somebody documenting their life. It's crazy. Even the girls with the fake big butts got somebody document they fake booty. Texas movement in the building. What up? Darius Harvey in the building. What up? Tyra Banks in the building. What up? Laid back in the building. What up? My girl Cinnamon keeping it spicy in here. What up? So, as y'all told y'all, I can't remember what day it was. Let's say, I don't know, but it was one of these days last week when I went live talking about this Cameron Dane thing that I told y'all it wasn't going to go long. And even when Dane put out the lawsuit, I told y'all that this thing wouldn't last a week. Either they was going to squash it or Cam was going to be and his feelings and be up for the challenge and be like, yo, I sue him and have a countersuit. But recently, Dame Dash put out a statement and he's saying, you know, all the OGs in Harlem. They didn't kill me with this OG thing. Like, how many OGs can it be? You know what I'm saying? Like, he need to grow up with that. Well, I don't know. Grow up sounds crazy because he already grown. But he needs to have a more mature approach and stop making everything mafioso and everything street. You know what I'm saying? Because the more you keep making things, building things around the mafia, you know what I'm saying, which is a life that you didn't live, which you are, you know, you watching movies, my nigga. Like you calling Cam Fredo and stuff, all that's from The Godfather. You didn't live that lifestyle, my nigga. Like The Godfather came out in 71. We were just born in 71. So we didn't see the Godfather when it came out. We was babies. We wasn't even walking when The Godfather came out. So clearly he's been watching The Godfather over the last probably couple of months or whatever for him to keep using that as a reference point. Because as you know, if you've been following Dane, he has never used the Godfather as a reference. It was always where we was moving nickels and all that other stuff, other street stuff, right? You know, so now he's engulfed in The Godfather, and he's been using that as a reference point. Me, myself, I wasn't, The Godfather is not my era. Scarface is my era, and I hate Scarface. Scarface is the worst goddamn movie for a person to be encouraged by. Like, now don't get me wrong, I love the movie for entertainment, right? But what it stands for, Tony Montana was a piece of trash. You know what I'm saying? For one, he was a damn junkie. You know what I'm saying? So when I see people model themselves after Tony Montana, or they got The World Is Yours and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Even Nas, you know, he modeled himself after Tony Montana. You know what I'm saying? With The World Is Yours song. Tony Montana was a piece of trash, y'all. You know what I'm saying? First of all, the nigga was a junkie. He was a cokehead. You know what I'm saying? Our first rule was no, don't get high on your own supply. Don't use drugs. We didn't use, well, at least I did. You know what I'm saying? Hustling. Never was I sniffing no coke. You know what I'm saying? So when you see, you know, other rappers, you know, like Only Built for Cuban Links, yo, take a one-on-one to this, nigga. Like, I was what? We was not getting high off coke. None of me and my dudes. None of us ever got high. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even smoking weed back then. You know, so Tony Montana, like, he was a piece of trash. He was a cokehead. Then he crossed his boss Frank. You know what I'm saying? And then slept with Frank's wife. Then turned around and married Frank's wife, who was a cokehead. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is you wifing up this cokehead chick that left her husband for you? You killed her husband, who was your boss. Then you flipped on Sosa, who was your other connect, your other boss. You know what I'm saying? Then you kill your own man, Manolo, your partner. Like, yo, Tony Montana wasn't nothing. That nigga had no moral integrity. He was a junkie. And so many people from the late 80s era modeled themselves around this junkie ass, unloyal ass, killed his best friend, butthole. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to curse, right? So when I sit here and I look at Dame trying to model himself after the mafia, like, these dudes kill off each other, you know what I'm saying, for blocks and areas and this and that. They are nobody to be modeling yourself after. You get what I'm saying? So just getting into it, right? Dame, he gets, you know, he comes in, he makes a statement. Now, did the thing with him and Cameron go too far? Yes, it went too far. You know what I'm saying? Cam went too far as dragging his son in there and putting his son's personal business out there. And then talked about his other son, you know, saying that, you know, Dame ain't believe that was his son. And, you know, allegedly. And he wanted a paternity test and all this. It just went too far. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Dame's referring to when he's talking about he traumatized his son with that, this, that, and the third. And then Dame, stooping down to Cam level, he go and mention that man dead mother, which was dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? That was so wrong, bro. That was so wrong to bring Cam moms into this, you know, and rest in peace to her, because she, you know, a lot of people likes her. You know what I'm saying? And even having the sidebar, remember, Cam talk about Jim couldn't rap, but on his first album, Cam had a song, My Mom's and Jimmy. They was all on the song doing music together. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole sidebar, right? And shout out to those who reminded me about that, because I didn't mention that. Cam talked about Jim couldn't rap, but he was on this first album with that song with him and his moms. You know what I'm saying? So clearly, Ramona, thanks for the cash app. Much love. Thank you. So Cam, even though he talked about Jim couldn't rap, he did have him on his first album. You know what I'm saying? But so Dame, he goes and he makes this statement talking about, yo, all the OGs in Harlem, they been hitting me up telling me, yo, man, yo, y'all, that's whack. Y'all need to squash that, this, that, and the third. Nobody needed to tell Dame that. Nobody needed to tell Cam that, right? They could have talked amongst each other, you know? Now, some of y'all gonna say, oh, Cho, but you go on that, Cam. But that's none of y'all business, right? Just like it's none of our business with Dame and Cam, but they made it public, right? So once you make it public, everybody gets involved, right? Same thing with me and Cam. It got public, everything makes it involved. But the difference between Dame and Cam and Cam is me and Cam talking to DM. We laughing, we joking, and talking about it. People are, I had a nigga, a dude, talking about, yo, man, you and Cam, man, yo, mind your business. Me and Cam is talking in the DMs. We ain't corresponding with each other. We can get on here and entertain and talk trash to each other. But the difference is we are still corresponding. We're not taking it personal. You know what I'm saying? He gonna take his jabs at me. I'm gonna take my jabs at him. But we're not hitting below the belt. We're keeping it 100% between us publicly. We're not dragging other people. He not dragging my family members in it. I'm not dragging his family members in it. We just, me and him, boxing it out publicly. And he went one step further to even show one of the DMs of me and him talking. Me, I don't even do, that's sucker-ish to me. I didn't go and show his DMs. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have to. I can easily show y'all his DMs and be like, yo, look what he's saying in the DM. Nah, we can talk about it publicly since we've been talking about it publicly. Cam even told me, yo, nigga, all right, next week I got you. Don't be mad next week. I'm coming to get you. But then this stuff happened with Dame. So for me, when Cam tell me, yo, he getting ready to go on his show and get at me, oh, nigga, I'm not going to fall back now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you telling me you're going to go on your show and you going to get at me after you done brought Bleak on your show and got at me, you went on Bleak's show and got at me, then you're in the DMs telling me, yo, I'm about to get at you again. I'm going to keep giving you this work because this is what I do, right? So as far as Cam and Dame go, they haven't been talking. Dame telling him, yo, talk to OG Daniel. Why do he got to talk to somebody else? You need a mediator. I don't need no mediator. I DM Cam DM me, and we talk. You know what I'm saying? So when other people that's jumping in it don't even know me and Cam is talking, I just be sitting there looking at them like they goddamn stupid. Because you don't even know what you're talking about. You jumping into something, and me and this man talking as grown-ass men. And we look at it as entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not going below the belt. And it's my facts against his facts. And me, I keep it humor. You know what I'm saying? I may imitate the nigga voice. I might snap on the nigga. I might call him sensitive. I might even call him a bitch. Or he acting like one. But that's how grown men handle things, right? We correspond with each other. And if he gonna go publicly and say something, I'm gonna go publicly and defend myself as he would do the same, right? Dame is sitting here talking all this mafia talk. You know what I'm saying? Yo, if this was the mob, you know what I'm saying? The little brother would have got Fredo got killed, and I don't want to do that. And like, you talking gangster, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm not gonna talk gangster. Because if I got intentions on doing something, I'm damn sure not gonna premeditate it. I'm just gonna jump out the tree like a ninja. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit there and premeditate and talk all this gangster shit. And in Dave's case, nigga, you ain't killing nothing. You ain't letting nothing die. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Dave has went public, and now he's talking about he would like to squash it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Cam talked to my OG, and his OG who's younger than him, which is ridiculous to me, right? Cam talked to his OG, and you know, they looking at, you know, he would like to sit down with Cam, you know, as men and talk it out, and he would like to sit down with 50 and maybe they all could work together and do something together. And this is the same dude talking this man stuff and sitting down and what you call it. But I'm the same dude that went to him 20 years ago to reconcile our differences, right? Just to get my money, bags in hand. And what he do, send some other niggas outside to talk to me, right? Years later, tried to say, yo, you know what? Me and Damon going at it. Yo, woo, woo, woo. Let bygones be bygones. You know, I even called this man, right? And I'm like, yo, tell Dame, let's sit down and talk. I was going to give him, I wasn't even thinking about my money at the point. I'm like, yo, we could work together and do something. And I was going to give him stuff. But that nigga was like, yo, I don't want to talk to that nigga. So now I'm at to the point where F him. You know what I'm saying? I never got my bread. You know, he know he owed me bread. Nigga went out there, did shows with content and stuff that I created, didn't put my name in the credits. And had I knew I could have sued him for that back then, I probably would have. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like all water under the bridge, right? I just accepted that, oh, the nigga don't want to sit down and talk it out like grown men. Fine, I'm not gonna keep begging this nigga to talk to him. But then I see him talking about how we as black men need to come together and this, that, and the other. And he want to sit down with Cam and he want to sit down with 50 because us black men, we need to get out here and work together and show these white people, woo, 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 woo. That's cap. That's all cap. I think, honestly, when he talked about Cam Moms, I think it went to another level. Where's my water at? Oh. I think that it went to another level and dudes probably started threatening Dame. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty much sure that's where it probably went to the point to where now Dame probably a little shook. You know what I'm saying? It don't want none of that street smoke. So now he want to sit down and talk and hash it out, this, that, and other. You know, because because talking about Cam Moms probably took it to another level. That's just my opinion. I don't know that for a fact, but that's just my opinion. And I strongly believe that because he's saying that Cam responded because of the lawsuit, which may be possibly true, right? Neither one of them really want to go to court. I doubt that. You know, do he have the right to sue Cam, take him to court? For some things, he probably can. You know what I'm saying? But in some things, Cam can have a counter lawsuit. And I'm not sitting here to break down their whole legal thing and this, that, and other, because I don't want to be giving nobody no ideas and all this other stuff. I'm not going to get involved in it on that level. But, you know, what I will say is, I told y'all that this wasn't going to go on for longer than a week. You know what I mean? So did I call it? Yes, I called it. And I don't want to see this between them get any uglier. If I was either one of them, I probably wouldn't even mess with each other. If I was Dame, I wouldn't mess with Cam no more after him crossing that line. You know, if I was Dame, or I mean, if I was Cam, I wouldn't mess with Dame. Like bringing my moms into it. You know, we could probably squash it and let bygones be bygones, but we'll never be cool again on the level that we was, because outside of them two, a lot of other people got affected by that. You know what I'm saying? Dame's sons, his wife, Cam family, you know, people that love Cam moms. She probably might have brothers, or, you know, or just even her grandson, you know what I'm saying, may have been affected by that, you know, but she could have siblings that didn't find that cool, you know what I'm saying, or just girlfriends, or you know, people from, you know, from the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying. So I don't know where this is gonna go, but like I told y'all, it wasn't gonna last longer than a week, you know. Now Dame is saying, you know, Cam, all he wanted was Cam to sit down and talk to him. And he talked to his OG. And damn, it's starting to rain. But it feels so good out here. I'm not gonna get wet. You know what I'm saying? But that he just wanted to sit down and talk to Cam. You know, that's all he really wanted. And you know, being that he put out the lawsuit, Cam responded, but he talked to his guy or whatever. And being that, you know, all the OGs in Harlem are hitting him up, telling them this is whack. You didn't need nobody from Harlem to tell you that what was going on with y'all was whack. You knew it was whack. The whole world knew it was whack. Yeah, you know, it went too far. You know what I'm saying? But time will tell. I'm pretty much sure Cam probably will talk to Dane. You know what I'm saying? If he could talk to his homeboy, who ain't, you know, who he don't even probably know like that, he might as well talk to Dane. You know, they probably just need a mediator in the room so they not over talking each other or yelling at each other, you know, and the beef don't spark back up. But I said that last week too. All they need is a mediator in the room for them to talk and what you call it. But like I said, after all the stuff that Larry talk and the talk about his son and the talk about, they'll never be the same. They'll never be the same. So they might as well just go ahead and squash it, agree to disagree, let bygones be bygones. But they will never, ever be the same. You know what I'm saying? But who am I to say? You know, Cam went on the radio and talked about Mace and the whole dildo situation. You know, him, Jim Jones, and them, they said a lot of stuff about Mace. And Mace is sitting down talking to Cam and being cool with him again. So who am I to sit there and judge? You know, maybe him and Dame will be tight as ever. Who knows? But I'm just a different type of person. You cross me once, I'm not going to give you a second chance to cross me on that level, to cross me twice. You know what I'm saying? I got dudes that I grew up with that cross me, and I, to this day, still don't talk to them niggas. You know what I'm saying? When you got dudes that you love and you let that thing go for them and you would die for them, and you turn around and you look up and they cross you, I'll be damned. if I let a nigga cross me again. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I done put my life on the line for him. Cam and Dame, maybe they haven't never reached that type of level of friendship. You know what I'm saying? Me, I don't put my life on the line for niggas. I don't put my freedom on the line for niggas. You know what I'm saying? So when you got that type of closeness and you feel like you've been crossed, like I would never give a nigga the back of my head again. I would never get in the car and let a nigga sit behind me again. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? But I've been in the street for real. And then that's a whole different other level. But what I don't do is get on the internet and talk about my street life. If y'all niggas think I wasn't in the street, good. I was just a cameraman. You know what I'm saying? But I'll hold that all day. But I'll never get up here and be like these other dudes that was in the street and sit there and talk about all the stuff that I did in the street. I'm not gonna sit there and glorify it because the wrong person might be watching and get encouraged to do the things that I did that I know was wrong. Case in point, I just seen a video with the little dude from Belly that was sitting on the bench with Nas smoking the blunt, right? He talked about how they threw him in the movie because he really was a little kid out there, didn't have no parents out there, and he really was smoking, getting high, and he really was having a gun. And he talked about how that movie enhanced his popularity in the hood, and how he went and did all this time and all this stuff. He still looked young, and how he did all this time in jail and stuff, and how he watched the interview with Bobby Smurda talking about how Bobby Smurda seen him in Belly at 12 smoking a blunt, and he started smoking. Mona Lisa, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Right? And he said, you know, now he look at it, I think he probably about going on 40 now, how he homeless. He talked about how he lived better in jail because he said while he was in jail, his mother died, his sister died, his grandmother died. You know what I'm saying? And he came home from jail and he had nothing. He don't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? So he keep going in and out of jail. He be trying to, you know, get jobs and he can't get jobs, and it's like how rough it is for him. So, you know, he'll go to the store and steal and stuff like that, you know, to get locked up for petty crimes so he could go do months because he lived better in jail. That's sad, bro. Because Hype Williams and Nas and all of them, you know, not Nas really, more Hype Williams put him in the movie. But us back then, you know, being younger, niggas, I ain't gonna say I did, but people looked at that as it being cool. They didn't think about the repercussions that they was going this little dude was gonna have. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them taking him and putting him in a rehab and helping him get his life together, they put the little nigga in the movie and highlighted it and encouraged a bunch of other little kids that wanted to smoke weed and have guns and this, that, and the third. And look how Bobby Smurda turned out. So I would never get on here and glorify the stuff that I did in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't. And since I've been on the internet, since I've been out the streets, I have never, ever, ever glorified that. Cam would tell you. When we was at the Source Awards, we was backstage and Cam in them green room. And Cam said to his niggas, yo, That nigga Choke ain't no cameraman. Yo, Choke, tell him, Choke. And I'm like, nah, I'm a cameraman. You know what I'm saying? I could have sat right there in front of all these niggas going, whoa, 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 whoa. And y'all have a totally different perspective about me. You know what I'm saying? Cam tried to get me to tell a room full of niggas from what he know about me. And I'm like, no, nigga, I'm a cameraman. And I'm wondering, nigga, how you know anything about me? But then I come to find out, never mind. But the point is, I'm not out here to glorify nothing. You know, so Dane with all this mafioso talk and yo, the Godfather and you Fredo and nigga, you living in movies. You're being a culture vulture. That's not your culture. You did not grow up in the mob culture. You're being a culture vulture right now. And you coined that phrase. You're not Italian, Dane. Don't be a culture vulture. You're using their culture against your own Harlem brother, calling him Fredo, and if this was the mob, you know, he would have got whacked, but the black mafia don't kill each other. Yo, come on, man. Stop with the culture stealing. You're being a culture vulture. You know what I'm saying? You did not grow up as an Italian mobster, my nigga. You watching movies, bro. You watching movies. And that is called culture vulturing, right? You're using their culture, you're adapting their culture to your lifestyle, and you're making money off of their culture. Am I right or am I wrong, y'all? Left or right? This is the dude that coined the phrase culture vulture. You're using everything in The Godfather to go against Cam. And you didn't live that life. You're not a mobster, my nigga. You're not a mobster. You're not Italian. You're like, come on, bro. You're culture vulturing. You're culture vulturing. But hopefully these guys sit down. They hash it out. And they move on with life. They ain't got to be friends no more. They ain't got to do business no more. They ain't like that. Would 50 sit down with Dame and want to do business with him? Can you imagine those three niggas sitting down doing business together? As emotional as all three of them are, how sensitive all three of those are. And then they all want to be their own bosses. Can you imagine 50, Dame, and Cam all that would not last, bro. Them three dudes trying to work on a project together would not last a minute. You talking about egos flying? Bro. Cameron, 50 Cent, and Dame. Dame couldn't even do that with Jay, and this Jay is a non-confrontational type of dude. Imagine, and like I said, I've never seen Dame and Jay argue once. You know what I'm saying? Jay would just be like, yo, blackball that nigga. Yo, don't work with that nigga. That nigga Jay will blackball you behind your back. That nigga ain't arguing. He won't even get a wrinkle in his forehead. That nigga is not going to do, like, you're not going to see it coming. But behind the scenes, that nigga going to be making sure your ass never eat again. Sucker ass nigga. But Cam, Dame, and 50 never will work. That will never work. Anybody that know 50, anybody, no, it's not going to work, bro. That is not going to work. Trust me. Trust me. That will never work. Man, they have 3 days. And as soon as Dave say one thing, 50 gonna say one thing, Cam gonna say it will never. 50 and Cam couldn't even work together. And I'm still waiting to see how that's going to turn out. Them two is not going to be able to work together. Them three together? The three-headed monster? No. 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 Not the three-headed sensitive monsters. No. That's not going to happen. They all too strong-headed. They can all do their thing individually. But them coming together, y'all, it's not going to happen. I promise you, it's not going to happen. So Dame couldn't even sit down with me and work nothing out, right? And I would be more beneficial to Dame more than Cam and more than 50, even right now in this moment. But Dame ego won't even allow him to do business with me, right? He can't put shit past. He can't put the past in the past. Be like, yo, this nigga Cho got all this content. You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't never get this nigga his money. That nigga done ran through all his money and never paid me, right? Imagine him. If he can't work with me, and I'm the most beneficial person to him right now to this day, he can't even bury the hatchet and be like, yo, you know what, Cho? You know what I'm saying? And he done had Kenyatta and other people talk to him like, yo, nigga, you need to get with Cho. His ego went like, you think he's going to be able to work with 50 Cent? Never. Never. Never, ever will 50 and him be able to do business together. Trust me. I'll put that on everything. If it happens, we'll see. Now, like I said, I hope that, you know, Dame ain't suing Cam. I know he's not going to sue Cam. You know what I'm saying? Even if Cam say, yo, I'm not sitting down. Yo, I'm not sitting down with that nigga. He's still not going to sue him. Trust me, bro. He's not going to sue him. He's not going to go that far. But I guarantee you, he's squashing it because there was some street talk. Somebody made a call. Them niggas is talking greasy, and Dame don't want that smoke. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this Cam, you know what I'm saying, because I know he ain't scared of Cam. But it's probably some niggas around and that probably got involved. And it's probably, once he says that's about Cam mother, which was 100% foul, shouldn't have never brought that man mother into it. And I stand on that to this day because I know how I feel when niggas was talking about my mother. And the only reason I ate it is because I'm not ready to go sit down. Had I felt like I was at a point where I felt like going to sit down, I promise you, it would have ended bad for me. for a nigga talking about my mother, whether you choose to believe me or not. But I guarantee you, there's some niggas out there that would tell you otherwise. So I know how a nigga can feel about his moms, especially when your moms ain't here no more. That's a whole another level of disrespect. You know what I'm saying? And me, I don't care who it is, nigga. I don't care who it is, how tough they are, and how many of the niggas they got. I will go lay down for my moms, either in the grave or in the jail cell. You're not going to, like, you know what I'm saying? But with maturity, you know what I'm saying? You look at things a little different. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes with maturity, words don't affect you as they would, especially when you're a different type of caliber of a dude. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, people could talk you off the ledge. You know what I'm saying? I damn sure was talked off the ledge and shit. But sometimes, you know, and I hope Cam take this advice as well. He got a son out here that need him. You know what I'm saying? And like for me, I'm not gonna let no nigga do something to a nigga for me. I wouldn't get no satisfaction out of that. Because if they go to jail or they get killed doing something for me, that's just gonna make me feel away. And for me, I need the satisfaction of doing it my motherfucking self. You know what I'm saying? I will sleep better. You know, whether I would just sleep better. I'm trying not to say too much, right? So I hope that Cam is in a space where, you know, he ain't got no crash test dummies that's gonna crash out for him, and or he will even allow a nigga to crash out for him, for them to go to jail. Cause you know, niggas always still got the dumbass niggas in their crew that was willing to go dive on the sword for them for a few dollars because they ain't got shit going on for themselves. They don't even value their own life. You know what I'm saying? And they are willing to go to jail for you because they ain't got nothing going on and they live better in jail. And they want to come home from jail, you know what I'm saying, and get praised and get taking clothes shopping and get a few dollars and get a chain or whatever because they crashed out for you and felt honor in crashing out for you. I really hope that Cam ain't got those type of dudes in his circle. I mean, it's good to have soldiers, but at our age, you really want a nigga to go to jail for you, and you feel honor and paying a nigga to go do something to a nigga, and they go to jail. That you don't love them niggas. You don't love them dudes that y'all sit there and pay to go and handle stuff, even though that's what they do, right? But you don't love them, and those dudes. If a nigga offering you money to go do somebody and you know you could go to jail for it, or you know that your life could be taken and you do something and then niggas want to go and do something to your family because you went and did something for another nigga for a few dollars, you gotta know the nigga don't love you. You're just that. You're just that. You're a stunt dummy. You a crash test dummy. And that's just the truth. That's just the fact. And I would never want to put my peoples in that position. But there's always the homie that be like, Joke, I don't give a F what you talking about. Nigga, that nigga disrespected. And they gonna do it whether I tell them to do it or don't. But the good thing about me is I always could talk to the dudes that I'm cool with. I done had niggas call me up in more recent times because they seen niggas that on the internet talking shit about me, and they call me, yo, I see this nigga right here. Nigga, leave that nigga alone. Don't you do nothing to nigga. Take your ass home to your motherfucking wife and kids, nigga. Do not do that. Nah, Joke, but the nigga, go home. Go home. Leave him. Don't worry, I got this. Leave him. And these dudes don't even have like niggas is easy. So, like I said, man, Dame's talking all this mafioso stuff. You know what I'm saying? That nigga, he's living in movies, bro. And when you talk like that, you be testing niggas. Because the niggas will take you serious talking like that. Talking that movie talk. That's movies. Them niggas is actors. Marlon Brando's an actor, my nigga. Like, Al Pacino is an actor. He ain't no real Godfather. That nigga was Italian in that movie and Cuban. He ain't even Cuban. In Scarface, he was Cuban. He ain't come from Cuba. The nigga's Italian. He's an actor, my nigga. You better stop using those references because niggas will take that serious. These dudes is actors, my nigga. You think that's their life in real? That's a movie, Dane. That is a movie. At the end of that shit, them niggas went home. Nigga ain't really die. Fredo ain't really get killed, nigga. They said cut after that. That nigga got up off the floor, whatever, out the water, whatever. You think that really happened? That is a movie, my nigga. Stop with the culture vulturing. Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, them niggas wasn't really putting on hits. The nigga don't really talk like that. These niggas, this nigga face, that wasn't real bruises. Like, come on, my nigga. That's not real blood. That's corn syrup. You using all these movie references. You know, you Fredo. Like, come on, my nigga. Yo, man. It's different when you see a nigga die in front of you. It's different when you see a nigga get shot in front of you. Trust me, it hit different. You act different. I held a nigga in my arms that was shot. Nigga, oh man, I don't want to die. I don't want to. Shut up, nigga. You ain't gonna die. Try holding the nigga that shot up and convincing them that they not gonna die. When you live that type of life, it's different. When you see bullets go through niggas and come out on the other side, it's different. That shit you talking, Dame, is movies, bro. I done held niggas that was shot up. I done seen niggas get killed. So I hope these brothers work it out. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say on that, man. Joke, no joke, man. I'll be back later. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. You know what it is. Peace. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't. One love.